Hello, how you doing? We're on the CinemaWins Harry Potter-a-thon. I don't know. We are on movie number 4. There we go. Being, of course, The Goblet of Fire. The first movie to be rated PG-13, the one with the haircuts, the one with Robert Pattinson, and the one where Voldemort comes back to life. So for me, this is one of my least favorite movies. Actually, it is. I'm trying to think. There are two other movies that I don't like more than this one, but I mean, actually think all the Harry Potter movies, all 8 movies, are good. Um, but Goblet of Fire is just one of my least favorite ones, mainly because there's definitely some things it leaves out from the book. I can't really think of anything right now. I mean, they skipped over the Quidditch World Cup, for example, and some of the mystery wasn't really there. They cut out characters like Dobby and Winky, and probably something else I'm not thinking of. Like, I haven't read the book in a while, but I do remember them leaving out a lot of things. I mean, we can agree them leaving out Spew, the whole thing, that was a good idea, because it's definitely one of those things where it's like, if you really, I don't know how I feel about that. Let's not talk about that. Sorry, we're getting off topic. Let's just watch CinemaWins' video, which I do think this is a good movie. There's still plenty of things to enjoy about it. Dragon attack, Voldemort come back, stuff like that. So let's get this over with. Great. About. What's up with that thing down there? Sorry, I don't know what that thing was down there. Um, I have no idea why that's there. Weird. I hope that's not too distracting. Anyway.
Sort of a Harry Potter style WB logo.
Sure.
Goblet of Fire style with the clouds the title card usually emerges from reflected in the logo.
How have I never...
Goblet of Fire
Are those clouds? I've never noticed that before.
style with the clouds the title card usually emerges from reflected in the logo.
Cool.
Most of you correctly identified this shot, and while I get the joke about Harry Potter not being for kids anymore, I think Nagini emerging from a skull wall and then slithering past a Grim Reaper statue is a great choice to prepare the audience for what's to come.
Oh yeah, this is the first one with actual death in it. Death for one of the good guys. Like, a good guy dies in this one, and it's like, oh yeah, now Harry Potter isn't for kids anymore, because they're... Yeah, I appreciate that, because I really do like how they age up. Like, Harry gets older and the audience gets older. It was a really genius idea.
You music aficionados will have to explain to me exactly what's different about Patrick Doyle's adaptation of Hedwig's theme, but it definitely adds to the adult and slightly off or dissonant tone going forward.
Yeah, first movie without John Williams, but it's fine. Yeah.
You could call this whole cold open foreshadowing for the end of the film, and we all should have known what was coming when the final task was a shrubbery maze.
Oh, cool.
Even though the graveyard's in England and Hogwarts is in Scotland. And although we have lots of different directors throughout the series, they all managed to capture the same aesthetic.
Yep.
Thanks in large part to using some of the same DPs and the same art director in every film.
Nice.
Doctor, when do you think he'll be back?
There's David Tennant. Yep. Doctor Who. Yep. Oh, well, I think I know him best as Kilgrave and Jessica Jones.
That's not right.
Must be Cedric, am I right?
There's
Of
the
course, magical teens are going to think the magical vampire is cute.
Yep. Oh man, this guy later goes on to become one of the best Batmans. That is still wild for me to think about. Like, man, Robert really has come a long way since this, and then being in 5 Twilight movies. Like, that's insane. And I really do feel like he's had a resurgence recently, popping up with the Batman. And he was also in Tenet. And I've heard Mickey 17 was good. I still haven't seen it.
Usually I'll talk about shots like this at the end or use them in my conclusion, but this one is so one of a kind and beautiful, I almost wonder if it was shot by a second unit, focusing on the sun as they track up to the port key. Just really pretty.
Cool.
Portkey.
Time to go!
What's a portkey?
It definitely works in our favor to have Harry constantly unaware of all things magic. So we get fish out of water explanations for everything confusing, and we see Harry experience things for the first time probably about as cheesily as we would.
Yeah. I don't know if I ever... Did I talk about this before? But I should have talked about it in the first one. Yeah, it's really cool how they like, not having Harry know about the Wizarding World at all was a genius idea, because then he sees all this for the first time, similar to how we, the audience, see all this stuff for the first time. So we're as amazed as he is. It was a really genius idea by J.K. Rowling.
Fred and George dress the same just in case there's a chance to mess with someone. If so, that's hilarious and a serious commitment to a potential bit. And
They would do that.
like most things we do as muggles that we think are epic and spectacular, the Wizarding World outdoes us at every turn.
Literally.
You'll be the first to know.
I realize there are good and bad seats for every sporting event, but when the athletes can fly into and through the nosebleeds, it's yet another advantage of the Wizarding World. Even the cheap seats have their benefits.
Cool.
First look at the Death Eaters is pretty
Oh,
intimidating.
boy.
Cross between the KKK and, I don't know, the cult and Eyes Wide Shut.
Yep. The Death
Or
Mark.
what the heck did you
That's called Death Mark, right?
Cult and Eyes Wide Shut?
Right? Or is it Dark Mark? Something like that? Not to
Doctor,
correct
what the heck
me.
did you do that for? Still seems off.
All of you, this way. A man, Harry. Who?
Correct.
It's Cho the traitor.
Oh no, I'm not hungry. Thank you.
Harry's got something else on his mind. I mean, other than this. I gather that quite a bit of the book in general was cut, but specifically leading up to the other school's arrival was cut way down.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that the Dursleys aren't even in this one, for one. Yeah.
As a viewer, I can't say it bothers me to get right to setting up the Triwizard Tournament. Seems like the right call.
Sure. I understand it. Like, yeah, you do have to cut things down is to a 2.5 hour runtime. I get it. You do need to cut things down, like condense it as much as you can. Still sucks that some things were left out.
What's happening?
Oh.
What is that run? Filch doesn't even care. Like a double misdirection, we're immediately told to distrust the man entering in under a thunderstorm and then told to relax a bit when he fixes the ceiling.
They drink only single malt whiskey.
My kind of horses. It seems insane that Dumbledore wouldn't have seen right
Yeah, there's a Barcross Jr. as Moody. Yep.
through Barty Jr., but when you consider that they hadn't seen each other in a very long time, Dumbledore has this crazy death match to deal with, and everyone classifies Mad Eye as mad now. Moody was a perfect choice for Barty to impersonate. This feels like a tad of a cheap misdirection, but I'm going to assume that it's
Yeah.
actually Barty Jr. polyjuicing to become Karkaroff, and I don't have one bit of evidence.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, Karkaroff. He was like the headmaster of Durmstrang, wasn't he?
Against the dark arts teacher.
Well, there's your first clue.
Earn you a one-way ticket to Azkaban. Correct.
I've always loved Brendan Gleeson, but he chews the scenery at a whole new level in this
He
movie.
really does. That is a spider.
Nope.
What are you laughing at?
No thank
Oh
you.
boy.
Out the window. Drown herself?
Well, that took a turn.
You.
I'm no insect or arachnid lover, magical or otherwise, clearly.
No,
But the
you're
torture
not.
and then killing of an innocent creature is enough to confuse your feelings about Mad Eye. Another red herring. Another huge giveaway if you're able to keep that tick in your brain for the next hour and 20-ish minutes. Oh, yeah, wow. Good luck with that first time viewer.
Yeah. No, kind of weird too. When I first saw this, I had already read the books, but I did not put together at first that, oh yeah, he's drinking Polyjuice potion. It wasn't until the end when he ran out and was trying to look for them when I finally realized, oh, that was Polyjuice potion the whole time, wasn't it? Nice,
Mood
nice.
Harry, you put your name in a goblet.
Yeah.
He asked calmly.
Yeah, that's one thing. Yeah, I've been teasing that in the last couple of videos. Yeah, Dumbledore screaming at Harry like that. That's a meme, I know. Yeah, I remember the first time I saw that, I was like, wait, why? I thought he was calm in the book. Why are you acting so rude? Like, that came out of nowhere.
I know it's a bad adaptation.
It is.
but Movie Dumbledore, at least Gambon, has always been a little different.
Did what? Good night. If we are
I mean, at least he acknowledges it's a bad adaptation.
to truly discover the meaning of these events, perhaps we should let them unfold.
Your instinct, and rightfully so, would be to question why they don't just let him sit on the sidelines and forfeit every task. But there you have it. They always need to uncover the mystery, something Harry would definitely be on board with anyway.
Piss off.
I get that Ron is overreacting a tad and totally assuming Harry tricked the system somehow, but he makes his actual issue clear.
Yeah, that's me. Ron Weasley, Harry Potter's stupid friend.
Regardless of whether Harry was responsible or not, that's Ron's place. And in a little meta comment about how often things happen to Harry, Ron has a totally realistic and appropriate reaction.
That's fair. Yeah. Yeah. It kind of sucks to be Ron, honestly. Like, the fact that Harry seems to get all the good things in his life. Like, he kind of does feel like a Mary Sue in a way, with all this, with everything just happening to go his way in a lot of ways. I mean, not all the time. Like, people he loves still dies, but you know, the fact that he's like super powerful with magic right off the bat is like, huh, okay. like no, Ron does have the right to be jealous. Well, does have I said that wrong, but I can understand why he's jealous. You know.
Also, gotta love Hagrid's response.
Quirks lurk beneath those rosy
Don't,
cheeks.
Rita, don't do that.
Awful and gross.
Yeah.
Not because she's gross, but flirting with high school kid. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, she's from Empire of the Sun.
Is she?
My eyes aren't glistening with the ghost of my past.
Well, not yet at least.
Risks ending, Henry.
Seriously though, the bird bites.
Yeah,
Gary
yeah,
Oldman
that
is
overused pun. Yeah, it was serious. Yeah.
always a win. Especially as part of a fireside chat that has to be one of the coolest effects in this series.
It is, yeah.
Bet FDR wished he could have done that.
That Seamus told him that Dean was told by Pavati.
Yeah, I remember this. Although it was usually getting friends to talk to girls, not ex-BFFs.
Oh.
Combed your hair.
As a matter of fact, I have. You might let it try the same thing now and again.
Seriously, Harry, pull a comb through that mess. Stop trying to be so much like your book counterpart.
Like, what was with all the characters having long hair in this one, too? Like, that was kind of weird.
Thanks.
And Potter stinks. Yeah.
You to curse someone when their back is turned.
You know, by cursing them when they're significantly less skilled than you. But you'll never get me to feel bad about Draco.
Scummy!
What are you doing?
Teaching!
Transfiguration lessons.
Wouldn't even bother telling you what's in there.
It seems like more so than other Harry Potter films, Goblet really taunts us and dangles the truth in our faces, so we all feel really silly on second viewing for not figuring out the twist earlier.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's what we all actually wanted, right?
Yeah.
No? Just the movie fans?
I guess I want to talk about that. Apparently, people are saying that the movies really played up Harry and Hermione, but even though Harry and Ginny are the couple, and that the books apparently made Harry and Ginny a better couple. And again, I haven't read the books in years, so I don't really remember that very well. But yeah, whenever I watch these movies, I'm like, I do want Harry to end up with Hermione. But apparently that's just, a lot of people say, oh, the movies screwed up that by making you want that. So, interesting.
You must all hate Rowling for that interview where she goes back on Ron Hermione.
Oh, yeah, she did say that, didn't she? I forgot about that. Yeah, Rowling straight up did say that, like, being all, Harry should have ended up with Hermione. And it's like, you wrote the dang book. If that's what you wanted, why didn't you write that? Okay.
These represent 4 very real dragons.
That's all well and good, but who gets to keep the tiny model dragons?
I want
We get a
one.
little character depth from Ron here. We know he's still mad at Harry, but he doesn't wish him dead.
Of course.
That's why he passes along the information about the dragons and why he claps Harry on. Unlike this dude who hates Harry and Toothpaste.
Yeah. Brush your teeth, dude.
Now we get into one of the best sequences in the film. The dragon is expertly rendered and completely terrifying.
Oh, yeah,
the
this
entire
is-
scene is exhilarating.
This
and a
CGI
perfect setup
still
for how
looks...
dangerous
This movie is 20 years old. Yeah, that CGI still looks really good today.
the tournament actually is. And once the dragon breaks its chain and takes flight, the pace and tension reaches a fever pitch.
Yeah.
Encouragement! You really get a sense of the dragon's size and weight by the way it moves and flies. You get the feeling that hovering in one location would be difficult work for the dragon, which is why it crawls around on the shingles.
Never actually told me anything, so it was really me all along.
High school friendships.
Yeah. And then he spits out the... Yeah.
Suaveness. You should be so...
I actually just saw a weird AI video where it showed Cho after Harry spits out the drink. It shows Cho like spitting out more drink. And I was like, I hate how bad, like how closer to realism AI is getting. It's like it's scary. Oh, sorry, I muted the video. Sorry.
Lessons from the Dowager. Confidence.
Look, we've just got to grit our teeth and do it.
Alan Rickman is always a win.
Yep.
Watch yourself on stairs. It's a bit icy at the top.
That moment when you realize you went an entire semester without knowing your crush had a Scottish accent?
Oh, sorry, ad. Still kind of weird that unlisted videos have ads. Like, how much money are you making off of this?
Tale
Oh, yeah, because she's Belle. Yeah, I know.
A bit of whimsy in this otherwise Voldemort returning filled movie is okay by me.
Sure.
It also really kicks off Ron and Hermione's will they won't they game.
Not a bad place for a bar.
Cleanliness advice, and helping out a friend / opponent.
Thanks, Batman.
Cliff's workout routine. Also, give me that bathtub with 500 spigots.
That was really cool.
The creepy mermaid riddle being louder above water actually makes sense since water is so much denser than air. However, sound moves considerably faster in water and can make you feel like the sound is all around you, so this would likely be pretty terrifying.
Yeah, I remember learning about that one time when I was inside a submarine at a museum. I don't remember what museum it was, but I remember being told that. I was like, really? That's interesting.
Almost all the bubbles were gone.
Myrtle, what are you
I
doing?
guess Myrtle didn't catch Equus.
You know, there's a wizard in Nepal who's growing gravity-resistant trees.
Nepal Pandora? Now we get into the underwater task. The
here
location
we
of these
go.
spectator towers out in the middle of the Black Lake and then going underwater and seeing how deep they have to swim gives this second task, at least for me, a serious sense of dread.
Sure.
As usual, the details are astounding. I love that the school of fish follow Harry around for a bit, but man, Harry, even the fish know to swim away from the sirens. What do you mean sirens are supposed to be half bird? So there are always complaints that these tasks would be just about the most boring things for the students and teachers to watch.
Yeah, like what are they watching from here? Like, they're just watching water just kind of sit. And then later on with the maze, like, they're just kind of watching the edge of a maze. Like, that sounds, that doesn't sound fun.
But based on this statement,
Seeing as Mr. Potter would have finished first, had it not been for his determination to rescue not only Mr. Weasley, but the others as well.
I have to believe at least Dumbledore is watching.
Sure.
Must be some kind of projector spell, no? Also, Harry gets a compassion / attempted self-sacrifice win.
Yep. Oh, yikes.
What's Rowling's deal? You need to exploit everyone's phobias?
Literally,
I'm
though.
freaked out by mer people and tiny little squid facehugger-looking creepers dragging me to my icy
Oh,
death.
face huggers. Yikes.
Like I have a
Oh, Maui.
shark head.
I know I had figured it out by now, but either way, a father recognizing his son before anyone else is perfectly realistic. Something Harry Potter films really excel at is these exposition dumps. I mean, that's what this is.
Yes.
Give us information about Karkaroff, Mad Eye, and Barty Sr. and Jr. But turning it into a memory and sticking Harry in the middle puts us on the edge of our seat to learn the information. And it's also fun to see younger-looking versions of our characters. I'm just saying other movies or writers may have just had Harry and Dumbledore sitting down together doing shot-reverse shot while Dumbledore told the story.
Yeah.
Obviously, it also would have made recognizing Barty Jr. impossible, so there's that.
And by means of the Cruciatus curse, torture of the Auror Franklongbottom and his wife.
I can't say for sure how much Neville knew about his parents' torture, but now
I don't remember how much he knew.
knowing that this is Barty Jr. and he and Bellatrix tortured Neville's parents to insanity with this curse adds a whole extra level to the scene.
Oh, crap. Poor Neville. I didn't even think about. Yeah, wow. And no, yeah, like, I know Neville had a whole thing with, he could have been the chosen one if Voldemort had killed his parents instead of killing Harry's parents. But yeah, justice for Neville, honestly.
Doctor, where do you think you're going? Just can't quite get it right.
You and your little friends are brewing Polyjuice Potion.
Again, they've been slyly dropping Polyjuice Potion hints throughout the movie.
I saw a bit of Polyjuice Potion.
What's Sonny's drinking, do you suppose? I don't know, but I don't think it's pumpkin juice.
Just enough to get you wondering, but not really able to put your finger on what's really going on. Now Snape is laying it out for those paying attention.
Cool. Oh, there's the maze. Yep.
I wouldn't say I ever knew to be afraid of hedges, but consider me freaked out. And remind me to never get too close to a shrub again.
No, the maze was boring in this. Like, I remember a lot of crazy things in the book. Like, I remember there was like there's a Sphinx who like asked Harry a riddle. There's like spiders. There was so many other things in here that they had to fight. It was really cool. But in this one, in the movie, they just have to fight the hedges themselves. It's like that just came off as really boring.
Saving your friend / opponent. This is one of the creepiest, grossest, and possibly the most evil-looking imagery in the series. But everything leading up to this scene is done so well, from the pacing and confusion to his actual return being something that sticks in your brain because of how terrible it looks. And I don't mean the CG. The CG is phenomenal and adds to
It
the dread.
does, yeah. No, this whole graveyard scene, like, maybe some of the rest of the movie before this wasn't like 10 out of 10 stuff, but this whole scene, I would say, is legitimately perfect the way it's handled.
Also, loyalty?
Very much, yeah. He didn't add a win for Cedric's death. Weird to add a win for death, but like that, that's a dark scene. And like he just straight up murders a teenager, or just because he's a spare kid that we don't need. I mean, I guess 17 is an adult in the Wizarding world, but whatever. But yeah, weirdly appreciate how dark they make this one.
Not loyalty.
There's Ray Fiennes.
Oh, Rafe, you beautiful creature, you. I see Voldemort in human form.
There's the nose, or not nose.
Starts showing off. Not even sure what he's doing, but he's ripping their masks off in a painful manner. Ugh. I mean, we all knew he had to be a Death Eater, but it's still such a... hate you.
Yeah.
Ooh, liquid metal mimic polyalloy, my favorite.
Shall I divulge how I truly lost my power? It was love.
And what more beautiful message could Voldemort inadvertently pass to Harry? Love conquers all, and Lily really has an overdue self-sacrifice win.
Yeah, she does.
Dang it, what an amazing cast Rafe Fiennes is. This whole scene is so good. Voldemort showing off in this manic state like Harry is his Christmas morning present he's been waiting years to open, or kill, or whatever.
Yeah. Like you can tell Voldemort was excited to kill this boy, man. Like it's so like Ray Fiennes really makes this scene so fun. Well, he's evil, but it's like he's having so much fun doing it. The way he says Crucio. Like, man.
Fiennes doesn't even care.
Yeah. Exactly.
You've gotta love this courage from Harry. Coming out to, as far as he's concerned, faces death. So this is just straight up awesome. First duel with Priori and Cantatum shown in a super satisfying way, as the meeting of the magical energy is creating what looks like liquid hot gold, giving a sense of extreme heat and power. And another heart-wrenching scene. Harry's one chance to talk to his actual parents when he has to leave and let them save him again. The first really impactful and unexpected death in the series, and it was given fully adequate reverence as the mood shifts from what the crowd thinks is the joyous return of the victors to some real tragedy and sorrow.
Marvelous creatures, dragons, aren't they?
And now Gleason gets to show off a bit. I mean, that's a pretty spot-on Hagrid. But I love the way he revels in everything he accomplished but wasn't credited for. His slow transformation back to the Doctor is also done really, really well. Side note, where's the fanfiction about how Goblet of Fire is actually just the Doctor going back in time to stop Edward Cullen from seducing Bella?
What?
Get out, guys or girls? Seriously, we got 50 Shades of Twilight fanfic and no Doctor Who fanfic? Write it well enough we could have a David Tennant Harry Potter Doctor Who crossover. Or how about a story about how Kilgrave wasn't actually drinking any polyjuice, just controlling everyone around him and convincing them he was moody? The options are endless.
That would be fun. Actually, would be fun. Kilgrave doing that.
Get writing.
Dark and difficult times lie ahead. Soon we must all face the choice between what is right
and what is easy.
Finally, Michael Gambon stops yelling and actually tries to communicate with these kids. A great scene from him.
Everything's going to change now, isn't it?
I also give them credit for not trying to wrap it up all cheery like the previous films, and instead leave us with a sense of doom. Sure, they're safe for now, but he's back and things can only get worse.
Oh, yeah.
Thank goodness. Sure, they're safe.
Yeah, so, no, things get worse from here for our heroes. Like, more and more characters die, and it's like, man. It's like, I weirdly appreciate how bold this series get for killing people. It's based on, well, I credit to the books too, because these are young adult books, like for teenagers, and they're like, no, we're gonna kill your favorite characters. Cool. That's not sad at all.
Now, but he's back and things can only get worse. Thank goodness.
Nice.
It seems like more than any others, Goblet of Fire was the movie that really disappointed the book fans since so much had to be cut.
Well, I would say Half-Blood Prince was that, but we'll get to that later on.
But hey, I still like it. What can I say? I love dragons, man. And Brendan
Gleeson,
sure. He's so good. He constantly has you second-guessing his motivations. I know, another Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher twist, right?
Right.
Well, this may have been the best misdirection yet, at least for the non-book readers. Start off making him mad and an obvious red herring, and then slowly build his supposed allegiance to Harry. Even though every one of these films are always about Harry and he's always the main focus, Goblet of Fire does such a great job of showing him as just part of a larger story. The Triwizard Tournament is a big deal to Hogwarts, and once it gets underway, he's just another champion, even to Dumbledore. Things don't seem to bend around him the way they did in previous films.
Oh, yeah.
He's along for the ride, albeit still finding ways to stand out and show everyone else up with courage and selflessness, even when it unfortunately costs people their lives.
Yep.
I know. Every time I get into a Harry Potter movie, I end up talking about how much darker it is than the last. And this one has death.
Yes, there it is, yeah. No, why'd you kill the Batman?
And, well, Noseless comes back for realsies this time. But we also have dancing and bright ballrooms and flirting and teen angst.
Yeah.
There's a joy that comes with being this far into the series at this point. Most everything is business as usual. We know how classes work, most of the relationships are established, so we spend more time on messing with friendships and seeing where new interests might go. And with Harry being so separate in Azkaban, it's nice to see him interacting with everyone again, even if he's still on his own in the tasks. I talked about Cedric being the first real death of impact and meant no offense to the Potters or Moaning Myrtle or even Nearly Headless Nick. Full offense to both Quirrell and Tom the Notebook Riddle.
Yes.
Full offense intended.
Yes.
But one of the main step-ups this film takes is how it deals with death. The opening scene gives us the death of the gardener,
Oh,
then
yeah.
of course Spider, then Barty Crouch Sr. The film does not shy away, but instead confronts it. And Cedric's death finally shows Voldemort as the feared baddie he should be. His return is punctuated with Cedric's murder. The other big thread woven throughout the film is, well, puberty. There's
Yeah.
always been a bit of subtext to the girls and boys, but nothing like in Goblet.
Yeah, like Harry's 14 now.
The Triwizard Tournament is built around the structure of a coming of age, adolescents noticing the opposite gender for the first time, flirting, confusion, and the pure torture that is middle school/high school romance. Ugh, what a terrible time. Still your senior year, that is. What? Didn't everyone start dating their spouse senior year of high school? Anyway,
okay.
I won't commit to it now, but Goblet is still one of my favorites.
Not
I feel
mine,
like at this
but
point I
sure.
need to finish my analysis of all the films before making a final judgment on my favorite. And diving into this one did expose a few wonky lines and odd directorial choices.
Never mind, off to bed, both of you.
And this rock concert. What's this
Yeah,
about?
that
Just
was
so
weird.
Out of nowhere. It's fun and goofy, but Dance Like a Hippogriff just sounds like a song written in our universe for their universe, if you get what I'm saying. Just a weird scene.
No, yeah, this whole bit was weird. It felt more like Muggles would have come up with this. Like, what was that about? Yeah.
But I still do love the movie as a whole.
Yeah.
Looking forward to everyone taming their hair a bit going forward, but next week is a break from Harry Potter and something I've been looking forward to doing since I started this channel. Hopefully it lives up to my own hype.
Can't see what that is, but okay. 112. A well-timed cannon. Oh yeah, like Phil shoots the cannon over and over. Yeah, that was funny.
Count of 3. 1.
Don't give me a copyright claim for that, YouTube. Okay, that was my reaction to CinemaWins' Goblet of Fire video. Not too many other notes I can think of, except, yep, liked it. Talked about the darker stuff and how this definitely ups the violence, which, you know, really, really nice, making this series more mature. And now we're halfway through now. We are halfway through this series. 4 down, 4 left to go. So that's really exciting. So, yep, can't wait to do Order of Phoenix next week. So, peace.